Karen from ediblewildfood.com here on a glorious afternoon walking the trails in a forest with Chance. After this walk, I'm going to take you to my kitchen and I'm going to show you how simple it is to make a salve. And if you don't have ready-made infused oils, it's very easy to do. You just need a little bit of dried herb that you can purchase at health food stores, and then you have to go through the process of infusing it before you can actually make the salve. However, it's all good, and once you have it, it's simple to make. All it is 5-to-1 ratio of oil and beeswax. It doesn't get any healthier than that. Anyway, instead of rambling, I'm going to continue my walk, and I'll see you in my kitchen. So this afternoon, I'm going to make some salve for a couple of friends of mine. I'm using the chickweed and broadleaf plantain oils that I made last year. So they're not that old though. And I'm using pure beeswax. And because both individuals could use a little bit of help, I'm putting in just a few drops of the lavender and the geranium essential oils. But basically, to make a salve, all you need is the oil and the beeswax. I pre-measured the oil. I have 5 ounces. And I'm waiting for all that wax in there to melt. And then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so what I'm going to do is use one protected hand to hold it upright. Now that the wax is melted, I'm adding in the oil, and the ratio is 5-to-1. I have a little wooden stick, and if you can see inside here, it solidified a bit. So I'm just going to keep stirring it for a few moments until it's totally melted. And this salve is going to be hopefully very beneficial for the individuals in which it is intended. But chickweed and broadleaf plantain historically are well known for helping with psoriasis, eczema, just dry, itchy skin as a result of heat being on in the wintertime, and a plethora of other ailments, which there's just so many things. And what I'm going to do, instead of rambling on about it, is I have a couple of links. I'll put them in the description below. And as you can see, we have this just about all melted. And as soon as all of this is melted, which should be in about maybe 20 seconds time or less, actually it's looking really good. So what I'll do now is I'm turning off the heat, removing this from the heat, and I'm just going to add 2 or 3 drops of the geranium and do my best to get 2 or 3 drops of the lavender as this is going to pour out. And not bad. Okay, probably a few more. And the next step is now pouring it into the molds. So back to the counter, and I have my tins ready. And as you can see, I have a baking sheet with parchment paper. And of course, the reason why I do that is if in case it splashes over, I just don't want this on my kitchen counter. So I'm going to pour the mixture into all these tins and see how much I get. Each of these tins are, if I remember correctly, 1 ounce. Sorry about that. So theoretically, I should have 6 of them considering I had a 5-to-1 ratio of wax to oil. And there we go. Always have a couple of extra, just if in case, and also maybe because you don't want to fill each tin right up. So there we go. I'm just going to let that sit for a while, and then I'll be back. As you can see, it's solidifying quite nicely, but I'm just going to let this sit for a little while until it's fully solidified. Always, always label what you do. I'm not a fancy person. I'm pretty darn basic. Paper and Scotch tape is good enough for me. But in the meantime, I thought, why waste time? I'm back at melting some wax again, only this time I'm making candles. This is a great way to recycle water bottles. I'm not much for drinking water out of these bottles, but I do like to keep them every so often when I can from work or wherever. And as you can see, cut them down. The wicks and the wick holders you can get off Amazon. And always, again, pure beeswax. And I'll be back in just a moment to show you the candles. So other than the beeswax, these are the only real supplies that you need, and everything else can come from your kitchen. For example, if you make muffins and you have the silicone cups, use those as candle molds, and they pop out real easy. Do you have eggs in your kitchen? Chances are you do. And you can make an egg-shaped candle. Now, mind you, this was really, really difficult to get the inner skin of the eggshell off. So a little tricky, but nonetheless, a little bit more practice, I might perfect it. And of course, the water bottles. These two are setting right now. I have more wax melting. And check this out. That's the final product. I made these at Christmas time. And if you want to replicate this, as I mentioned, real easy. Just get your supplies, get your beeswax. But make sure that when you cut the water bottle, don't pour the wax right up to the top. And the reason why is you need a bit of leeway to cut it in order to release the candle from the plastic. And you need to grease the inside of these. And I hate to promote it, but you do need this spray crap. And the reason why I call it crap is check out those ingredients. They're okay to use in candle making, but I sure don't want that in my body. Anyway, it does help to release the candles from the mold when they're all done. And I want to thank you ever so much for watching this video right to the very end. And thank you for all your support. And a little reminder, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to share it in your social media. Thank you, everybody.